Thanks for listening to the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast, where each week we talk about a free piece or two of technology that you can use in your classroom. I'm your host, Shanna Martin. I'm a middle school teacher, technology coach, and personalized learning coordinator for my district.
And I'm a producer and husband, Fuzz. What's up?
And your name is almost longer, but not.
No.
So here we are.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Oh, well, it's not your week to appreciate me because National Advertising Guys Week appreciation is not until July. But National Teacher
Appreciation Week?
I doubt it.
I was like, wow.
Nobody appreciates us. We actually are probably the inventors of all of the appreciation weeks because it's usually
Great
a marketing ploy for something. It's a way to sell mattresses somewhere. Oh, it's President's Day sale. Really? President's Day? Okay. But National Teacher Appreciation Week.
Yep.
I'd say now more than ever, appreciate your teachers. In fact, I bet you the level of appreciation for teachers has gone up dramatically over the last few weeks.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few very fun memes. Just,
yes.
There's so many fun things out there now. And I mean, everyone's sticking it out. I appreciate the parents that are like taking on the role of teachers, that especially if you are a parent and have never gone to school to be a teacher and never wanted to be a teacher, and now you were a teacher.
Congrats, you're a teacher.
And then teachers who are trying to supply the parents with all of the things and all the students with all the things they need. So anyway, yes, it is Teacher Appreciation Week, but we're also coming up on Nurses Appreciation Week.
Yeah.
And like they always kind of coincide, they run into each other. And healthcare workers, I mean, there is so much to be appreciated right now. So this week, if you haven't guessed it yet, the theme is...
What is it, Shanna?
Kindness and appreciation.
Oh, very good.
So with all these things, I was trying to think of ways for us to show appreciation for like our daughter's teachers.
Yeah.
And I usually like to do fun things, but it's just hard right now. Like we're not going anywhere, and we still want them to know that they are loved, and what they are doing right now is not easy.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, like we leave little messages on our sidewalk for our community, but just sharing kindness and appreciation, I feel like everyone's kind of taken a step back and doing this more so than we kind of do in our busy day-to-day lives. So I have 4 sites today, and they are focusing or ways to show kindness and appreciation, or sites that can help you create things, I should say. They're kind of like creative sites for kindness and appreciation. So you can do some creating. They're easy. I will be encouraging my students to use these this week. Some of the stuff I've actually used with my students before, and just not even showing kindness and appreciation to your teachers, but your parents and those around you, like anyone who's affected you. I know our guidance counselors right now are doing like Google Meets over like counseling services. And there's just so many things that are going on right now. So we are going to create some kindness as we go. So our first site, we've actually talked about the site before, but this is one of those sites where it's Adobe Spark, where Adobe Spark, actually Canva has one similar to, that you can create like 12 billion things on these sites.
Yeah.
So, but it's hard to know everything that they can do. So when I use Adobe Spark a lot for inspirational quote kind of creation stuff.
Sure.
But they have a section for greeting cards. So if you go to Adobe Spark, you sign in with Google, and something I like about Adobe Spark too is that it drops right into your Google Classroom. So those of us, since we're doing all online stuff, you can have kids crank out something cool or be creative, share some kindness or share something with somebody else, and it's really easy to do. So go to Adobe Spark, you sign in with Google like you usually would, and then you get your like select a size, and you kind of get lost because you always get square, Instagram story, Facebook channel, like YouTube thumbnail. But if you kind of look, it's faded. You click on print, and if you click on the print choice, you'll find a card. So you can just click on a 5x7 card, which is kind of cool. The setup is already there. You can choose one of their super pretty, beautiful pictures, or you can upload your own. So if your students are creating something, or you're creating something for your students, you can upload pictures of your students or yourself or your dog, or the person that you want to thank. If you've got a cool picture that you've had of them before, you can upload your own pictures. And then you just go through and create. So you can go to add, you put in your text, you can add more pictures, icons, logos, you can add all that stuff in. They have templates that are preset for you. All of this is down the right-hand side. Color choices. I know of all people, appreciate when they put the little color palette together for you.
Yes, I do. More than anything.
And so, yes, the color palettes. So that way, if you are not a super like, oh, I know that these colors coordinate together, you have a hard time seeing colors together. So they have little color palettes already put together where you can click like this one and you have 5 choices and automatically keeps everything within the same theme, which I do love about Adobe Spark. They have effects, they have styles, you can do all this kind of stuff. And you can crank out your own cool little 5x7 thank you card. And then what's nice is you have the choice to download it. So you can download the file, and if you want to physically print it and go like tape it to somebody's door or leave it on their doorstep or something like that, you can do that.
Yep.
Or you can go to the share button. Once you hit publish, you have the options of putting it on social media. So you could design like a thank you card for healthcare workers or like teachers in general or something. You can email it to that person if it's specific. Or you can, like I said before, you click on Google Classroom and it will drop it right into your Google Classroom, which is kind of cool. I really like that option because if you're a teacher and creating like an assignment in Classroom, Adobe Spark connects to it. So
Sure.
It's just nice that the assignment goes directly there and then the kids' work is all set up. So like I said, Adobe Spark, we've talked about a little bit before, but they do have a card option, and it's kind of cool if you're going to send a kind note to somebody. They kind of look extra special when they're made in Spark because
they've got really good typography and colors, and
it's just pretty.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's Adobe, so Adobe does a really good job with that stuff because
it's their thing.
Yeah, it's the tool of professionals.
Yes. So
For free.
For free. We love free things. So yeah, that's my first little card thing, a little plug for Adobe Spark. Because I use it a lot and my students really like it. To me, that's definitely, it's not going to be as cutesy. If you're aiming more like cutesy, my second site is more cutesy. That one is more,
I would say not professional, but like
modern,
clean. Yeah.
or
it's more
formal almost, or kind of.
I mean, you could do fun stuff in it if you have, if you play around with it and take some time, but you're going to have to do it. The templates and things that they have are
They're
more,
just very,
yeah, they're like really
pretty.
like, yeah, they're well designed, like, but not like, they're not cutesy designed. They're like, right. They're not super lighthearted. They're more, modern.
Modern. Yes. Okay. So my second site that we're talking about today is called greetingsisland.com.
It sounds like a
Sounds like a
reality show.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, like Survivor, but it's Greetings Island. Maybe it's run by Hallmark.
It'd be
funny.
It's a reality show where 12 copywriters go to an island and they have to write great greeting card copy.
And if your card doesn't win, you get thrown off.
You get voted off.
Oh my gosh. So, Greetings Island.
Our sympathies. You're going home.
Is a card creator online. And what's cool is if you're looking for the more cutesy, if you're looking for more of a quote unquote traditional greeting card, but a digital version, Greetings Island has lots of choices. And then what you do is you log in, create a little sign in. You can sign in with Google. And once you log in, you can pick your theme or whatever you want. If you're going to do birthdays or thank yous, we're doing kindness and appreciation. And then you can pick, and they have options too. They have invitations and cards and stuff too.
Hint, hint, if you're looking for a Mother's Day template, they've got that too.
And so they even have a whole section on teacher appreciation. But what's cool is they have you can just pick one out. And again, they look a little more traditional or cutesy, and they have lots of choices like, thank you for sharing your wisdom. And they have a cute little owl. And if you click on it, then you can choose your card that you want to, click customize. And then from there, you have the options of the card itself. You cannot change the cover. So that's like, so it's like a card that you'd find in the store. But you can go ahead and type in text. So your wording would be yours, and then you can add photos to them. In some of the templates, it depends on the card that you choose, and then you pick all of the information. And then what's nice is that, and I was kind of like clicking through before as I was making them, I realized it's like, oh, well, you can send them digitally, which makes sense. Then you have a cute little like card to send digitally, but you can download the PDF version. Once you've created it, you could download it and print it, and then have like greeting cards done and crank out cards to go put on people's doorsteps if you wanted to. Yeah,
there's I'm just on the homepage. They have some like featured cards. It's a birthday card, and it's a picture of the coronavirus wearing a crown, and it says, "Next year you'll get a real hug. Happy birthday." It's pretty funny. Lighthearted. I mean, it's, like, just got to deal with it. But the this is pretty cool. Actually, if you are, let's say, you're getting married soon, they've got some pretty cool, like really nice looking wedding template, like wedding invite templates too. So,
yeah, it's not just thank you cards or like congratulations, engagements, retirements, sympathy, Cinco de Mayo. Like, they've got cards for all the regular topics.
For humanity.
For everything. Nice. So Greetings Island, if you're looking for something a little more cutesy, and more traditional, or like turning the card, opening a card, not just a flat card, but opening a card. Greetings Island has cards for that, and again, showing appreciation to, your neighbor, your delivery people. We keep leaving chalk messages to our delivery people because, oh my gosh, there's so many cardboard boxes at our house right now. And we appreciate everybody delivering everything to us versus us being outside. So, it's kind of cool, and it's quick and easy, and kids could crank these out for fun, share them with their friends. They could make cute cards and be like, thanks for, being my friend, or supporting me, and just kind of thing. So that one's kind of cool and easy, very easy to use.
greetingsisland.com.
Correct. All right, so we got 2 card sites that we have just talked about. The third site we're talking about today is, I don't explain it. So I totally don't explain it. It's the Kindness Rocks project, which lots of people have kind of talked about. I don't know if everyone knows that they have a website. And I have done the Kindness Rocks project in my classroom for the last 2 years.
Okay.
I think maybe 2 or 3 years. And if you're unfamiliar, it's where you take rocks, you paint them, and you put messages on them, and you leave rocks around town, is basically what it is. The goal of it is to like share positive messages, share uplifting notes, just putting like smiley faces out there, or like pointing out the good in people. And now that everyone's home, I think you saw like a TikTok on it. I'm bored and I'm home painting rocks. But it's such a cool thing. So I've started this in my classroom. I do it every year at the start of the school year when we're doing community building and trying to like spread kindness. And in middle school, it's not easy. So just getting them to think outside of what's in front of them and like spreading kindness in their community. So we paint the rocks. We have our own little hashtag that says like Kindness Rocks, and then LMS, like our middle school.
Sure. You
just do Kindness Rocks projects or just Kindness Rocks, and they hashtag the bottom of them because you can follow them on Twitter.
Okay.
So you can follow the Kindness Rocks project. They now on their website, so it's thekindnessrocksproject.com. They give the whole story about where they came from. They've been on like Good Morning America and done all kinds of stuff. And you can buy painting kits, but really you can just use rocks that you find out in your garden or on your street. We use the rocks from our yard.
We have a lot of
So I bring
Perfect
in
rocks.
boxes of rocks to my classroom.
Yeah.
We paint them. I also have like paint markers if they want to do writing or like little messages on them. And we Sharpie our hashtag on the bottom. And I just swipe a few brushes of Mod Podge over them to kind of seal off the paint.
Yeah.
And we let them dry and the kids go put them out in the community. What's cool is I've had students in the past, or students that know that I do this in my classroom, find the rocks like later. Like I had a student this year who had 2 years ago was like, Mrs. Martin, I found one of the rocks, took a picture of it and then
nice.
sent it to me.
Cool.
And it's just kind of a cool day brightener,
Yeah.
very easy way to share positive messages. And the thought always is that you can either, if you find a rock, you can either keep it or hide it in a new spot for somebody else to find. But it's just an easy way to share positive messages, like never underestimate yourself. Grief is love souvenir. There's all kinds of them that they put on here. But just sharing a little love and kindness, and it's a cool thing to do when we're all kind of stuck inside. And they have a whole website, but what also is on this website, because I go off on the Kindness Rocks project, they also have videos with like positive messages, like where it comes from, and other ways to connect the Kindness Rocks project. So they have like how to use it in your classroom. They have special school packages if you're interested, or like downloads that you can do. So it's something that you could have students do to build community, or just kind of Friday, no academics, we're going to do something else instead.
Yeah.
You don't have to have the paints. You can definitely just Sharpie up a rock.
Sure.
I've seen lots of kids do that too. They get a Sharpie at home and they like draw smiley faces on them, or like we love you, or things like that. So yeah.
Fun quick story. Through this quarantine, one of my employees was having her internet uploaded or upgraded, and she had some workers at the house, and while they were working, and she couldn't work because they had her internet down, she was painting rocks for the Kindness Project. And one of the guys said, when he was finishing up, he's like, Miss, could I ask you, what are you doing? And she said, I'm painting rocks. And he said, can I ask you why you're painting rocks? And she's like, oh, I put these fun little messages on them and put them out to help brighten somebody's day. And he was like, okay. But
the more it spreads, the more people see them. We actually have them, like the front part of our house along our sidewalk is covered with these rocks. So the girls and I paint these rocks and leave little messages. And we've had people come take them, or ask if they can take them, or they're like, oh, that's so cute.
Yeah,
like that's such a day brightener.
There was a little girl when we were
during Halloween.
During Halloween, and came up and asked if she could have one of our rocks, and we're like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. We've had people come to the door and be like, oh my gosh, your rocks are so pretty. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of a fun random thing that's unexpected, especially if you find them in a park or in a parking lot or something. Oh my gosh, it's like a fun little message. So
yeah,
anyway, that's our little Kindness Rocks. Spread a little kindness. Go paint some rocks.
Cool idea.
And our last one today that you've been playing around with.
Yeah, it's a cool site.
So it's Aggie.
It's Aggie.io.
AGGIE.io. So, if we're talking about kindness and we're talking about like positively and sharing appreciation and stuff, I always think a lot of this comes to like art or sharing, I don't know, like sharing things with people. So art, drawings, little messages, things like that. And the site, Aggie.io, is a cool drawing site. Like you are able to create any kind of art that like you can do on a screen. So like between painting and markers and all that kind of stuff, they have all the cool tools. They have the giant color wheel. They have layering. They have
I think the coolest part about Aggie.io is that it's a collaborative drawing program. So if you're an art teacher and you want to say, all right, class, we're going to have a collaborative drawing thing, you can invite your students to Aggie.io to your project, and together each can work on a separate layer and come up with
like a collaborative class piece of art. Like
exactly.
They can work together on something. which was like one of the coolest features. You know, we kind of talked about this ahead of time. Like,
Yep.
students can, or if they're kind of bummed or having a bad day, they could share. I have some students that are phenomenal artists, and they can then invite a friend to do art with them.
Right.
Or like, here, I created this for you, and then share it with them.
And it runs on, you can run it just runs in browser. So Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft, Safari, Opera, and it's pretty quick, and it works just like Photoshop like Photoshop Lite, but it's layers. All the tools are in the same place. You have all different bunch of brushes and things like that you can use, and it's pretty neat. Like
And you can import like a picture or something, like a piece that you've been working on, or ideas that you can import and then work from pieces that you're already working on.
Yeah. So I'm going to share this with our designers. We have about 10 designers at our office who are all, like, some are cartoonists and animators and things like that, and see if this is something that they might want to
play around
with together. Might be a good team building kind of thing while we're all stuck inside. So but it's a really fun little website that is pretty powerful. You can download files as PSD, so you can use them in Photoshop once they're done. But if you just click save, it saves it as a saves all the layers down to a PNG file and downloads
together.
Yeah.
So it'll create. It won't open up.
Yeah, there won't be layers at that point, but you can use it then. Put it on a website or email or thing like that. So. So yeah, I think the Aggie.io is a really
cool,
there's a
collaborative tool.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool things you can do that would be fun.
Yeah, and allow students to.
Yeah.
I just keep thinking I have some art students that they make a big impact with their art, and to be able to share it with others or have others collaborate with them on that might be some day brighteners for some people and kind of. And do some cool stuff with that. So, so that's Aggie.io. Like you said, you can save it. You can do what you want to. You can share with it. You can collaborate with it. And then you can also put it into Photoshop, which is pretty sweet.
It is sweet.
Yay.
And fun.
It is sweet and fun. So, yeah.
And we need more sweet and fun these days.
We do. A little bit here, a little bit there.
Yeah.
With our kindness and our appreciation for all that everybody does.
Exactly. Oh, well, happy Teacher Week. Thanks for teaching the youth of America.
And the world, for that matter.
And the world.
Thanks for tuning in. This has been the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast. If you ever have any questions, you can find me on Twitter at SmartNWI or on Facebook at Tech Tools for Teachers. And if you want to get more information on the links to the technology discussed in this episode, you can go to smartnwi.com, that fantastic EdTech directory.
It's updated and new. It's
snazzy.
Searchable now.
Woohoo.
You can search by category, tag. Like, you want to find something for gym class, type in gym or Phi-Ed. It'll pop up.
Ta-da! New episodes each week. Thanks for listening. Go educate and innovate.
The ideas and opinions expressed on this podcast and the Smart NWI website are those of the author, Shanna Martin, and not of her employer. Prior to using any of the technologies discussed in this podcast, please consult with your employer regulations. This podcast offers no guarantee that these tools will work for you as described, but we hope they do. We hope you have a great Teacher Appreciation Week. Thanks for all you do, and thanks for listening.